gonna sync up here. 3, 2, 1. We're sitting down.
Ah! There, now you have really good waveform. Ah!
Okay.
Ah!
We have waveform.
We're hitting 0 decibels on here, so that's good.
Okay, we're sitting down with Dylan.
Hi.
And
David.
All right, remember D's. These guys just had this fantastic panel about stunts and fighting here at, I almost said DragonCon, InterventionCon.
Wow, this is like the most chill and relaxed DragonCon I've ever been to.
I know, right?
Yeah,
no one's been arrested yet.
Oh, well.
It's a miracle.
Let's change that, David.
Less than 3 deaths and it's a dull affair.
Yeah.
So.
Fair enough. DragonCon is usually like, so InterventionCon here.
This is InterventionCon.
Now
in
talk to
Rockville,
us.
Maryland.
Talk to us about not just the business you represent, but what you guys do with that business.
We run a group called the DC Stunt Coalition. We are a business in name only. We're not incorporated yet. We're working towards that right now. We are a training and education organization for stuntmen in the greater DC area.
Mm-hmm. Now, how do each of you enter into this business? What are the things you guys do?
Well, I run around on independent film sets on an almost weekly basis, meeting people, networking, scouting for people from martial arts schools, gymnastics academies, people that want to do the performance side of things, hopefully for the rest of their life, or they just have a passion for doing it as a hobby.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You know, I do a lot of, I do a lot of my own independent freelance work, that sort of thing. I have started picking up stunt work. It's a lot of fun. As far as with the DCS, you know, I try to help organize the guys, try to, you know, help out Dylan with, you know, just general tasks, putting together like all of our things like our workshops, that sort of thing, organizing our own classes, training up our guys, you know, making sure everyone's, you know, working together and kind of keep on task. So.
How big is your organization?
Our organization is, it's actually, for the kind of organization it is, it's rather large. We have, every weekend we train at a gymnastics academy in Rockville, Maryland, and we have at least 10 to 15 people that show up to train every weekend for 3 or 4 hours, sometimes 6 or 7, depending on how open the gym is. It's every weekend for like the last 9 months. These dedicated guys and gals have been in there doing all sorts of stuff, fights, falling, tricking, you name it.
Now, you guys did just do a panel, like I mentioned. You had some really great clips you showed. You gave us some great techniques on what's going on. How did you guys first get involved in talking to people about this in the first place? I mean, you mentioned you're both, you know, stuntmen. You like to do that. How did you get involved with talking to people at conventions about this?
That's a really good question, primarily because it's really relevant. The first time that I ever did anything convention-related was... I believe actually it was Balticon, but that I was just kind of showing up and hanging out with the people. But the first time I ever had a panel was here at Intervention. A couple years back, when the first Intervention happened, there was an empty slot in the video room, and I was like, well, nobody's playing anything. Why don't I just come in and play some YouTube videos that I made? Yeah. And those were like some student films and stuff that I made in high school, and I played them. And a couple people came in, and I realized, wow, this is a lot of fun. I should do more of this. So over the years, I kept coming back to Intervention. And I never really taken the time to apply for a panel until this year, but you know, last year there was a panel that was going to play at some point, and it actually ended up falling through. So I just went in and I said, look, this panel's supposed to be here tomorrow. Why don't I go home, write up an outline, and come in and do a panel on action movie scenes and stuff like that are on the internet, because I love watching internet action movie scenes. So I did that, and I started talking about it, and then from there was just a lot of other things that happened. Like from my connections in the independent film industry, I taught a drama guild, a children's and adults. It was like it was a mixed group of, it was a drama guild up in Havre de Grace, Maryland, and they want someone to come in and teach stunt basics to their class. And I was like, sure, I'll come and do that. And it was for film and theater, so I came in and I did like a 3-hour lecture. And these kids, the entire time, they were just like, this is so cool. And I was talking about like Jackie Chan and his injuries and James Bond movies and car stunts and all these things that I'd watched and loved over the years. And then we ended the course with like an hour in a gym doing the kind of stuff that we showed at the panel, you know, how to sell punches, how to stack hits, how to do flips. I even showed some kids how to do that Charlie's Angel flip that I showed at the panel. But I broke it down for them, so it was basically just like a somersault, but then one of the kids actually got it, and I was like, there's a method to this. So I started bringing it around to other classes, and then 2 weeks ago we actually had our first ginormous workshop at Otakon. which was a full fight show, live action demonstration, and interaction with the audience where we taught them all the stuff. There were 100 people in the room. We put them all in circles with our team members. We showed them the fights. We showed them how to do the basics. And then we had a 20-minute Q&A with a famous stunt woman who was in Kill Bill, Angela Merrill.
Now, how satisfying. You mentioned that you saw a kid, one of the people you've been teaching, actually get this down in one afternoon and just be able to grasp it. How satisfying is it to see you be able to affect someone like that?
I had a friend who attended the workshop at InterventionCon, and then she went and saw, well, Kick-Ass 2. And, you know, she said she went and saw it with her mom, and her mom wasn't all about the action movie stuff, but she's sitting there and goes, well, you just ruined movies for me. Because she's sitting there and breaking it down and starting to see some of, even though we were teaching some of the basics and some of just like basically the bare bones, you know, you start to see it in the movies, and you start to go, okay, I see how they did that and actually didn't like hit each other, for example.
Yeah.
You know, and you start to get that mindset.
It gives that one horrible peek behind the curtain. It's just like, oh.
Well, essentially what we are doing is we're ruining magic tricks, because all stunts, they're magic tricks, they're illusions, Michael. They're ways of taking something that looks dangerous and making it look extra dangerous, and it's actually almost completely safe as long as you have trained professionals. When it comes to teaching the kids the techniques and seeing them perform them, I get a true feeling of elation. You know, it's kind of a weird word to say, but it's like, it's really cool because it's the same thing as being a martial arts teacher. You're teaching them how to get command over their body, confidence, and this whole total like, stunts are very holistic. You have to be completely in tune with yourself in order to perform them. Otherwise, you're going to get injured. So to be able to pass that on to a younger kid and also teach them, you can play around and you can do violence and you can do all this stuff without ever actually hurting anybody, it's a really great feeling. I actually taught an inner city kids school program with a group called Zip Zap. I did my stunt demo there. It was a stage combat stunt demo, and these 10-year-old kids who had never really had this kind of attention for this kind of thing before, they had never been exposed to it, they all just jumped right on it. So when we were doing like the manipulation demos with the kids, I was just like, move them from side to side over the room, and they were like, yeah, yeah, and they were totally getting into it. And the teachers, who were really worried that the kids weren't going to pay any attention at all to me, because they were like, they're just these rowdy kids, they're not going to pay attention to you, but we want you to come in anyways. I was like, guys, I got this, because kids love simulated violence because it's all playing pretend. We're just teaching them the safe way to do it.
Yeah. Now, on the subject of kind of mentors and speaking to others, you have people that kind of spoke to you that you looked up to. You mentioned a couple martial artists, but also YouTubers and kind of more that digital age of fighters and stuntmen. Any of those online individuals, YouTubers, etc., that kind of really spoke to you, at least through their work?
Well, there's quite a few. I mean, obviously we love the Beatdown Boogie guys. I actually just got to know them. David's been a fan of them for a while, and we actually just met them at Otakon. So for anybody that was in our panel that didn't get to see the ending because my laptop died, go check out the Beatdown Boogie YouTube page and check out Mario Warfare and Modern War Gear Solid.
Yeah.
Modern War Gear Solid?
Oh, you haven't seen this? It's great. It's Snake and Ghost from the Call of Duty games killing Master Chief or something. Like, it's insane. But other people that have inspired me, like I said, there's the stunt people. There's I think they're called EC Monkeys. They did the EMC Monkeys. Yeah, they did the Sleeping Dogs live action fight scene. So for that video game Sleeping Dogs, there's an incredible promo video. And there's other fan groups. Zero Gravity was the big one back in the day. They kind of led the charge for internet media. And Team Ryoku were like one of the first people that posted like tricking videos and stuff like that. I think they were up in Canada. There's a guy named Leo Kai Angelos who makes incredible videos. His most recent one that he directed was a live action version starring female stunt fighters of the Family Guy chicken fight. And it is one of the coolest 8 minutes you will ever spend on the internet. Because look it up. Now, when it comes to personal mentors, there's a couple of really great stunt coordinators in this area who have helped me out. There's Jeff Wilhelm, Rick Kane. There's a stunt guy out and about who's working really hard in the industry named Matthew R. Staley. They gave us a lot of information about the basic techniques that we use in all of our workshops, and they supplied us with a lot of that information. There's one other mentor that I have to mention. His name is John Krang. He wrote the book Fight Choreography: The Art of Nonverbal Dialogue. This man has given me a lot of the attitude coaching and the aspirations. He's a genius when it comes to the fight choreography stuff. He's written the book on it. I totally recommend checking it out.
Yeah, I mean, overall, I'd say, I mean, just with the stage in general, I mean, we have so much opportunity because we have YouTube. You know, before it was, you know, you go to the film industry, so you got to go to New York or LA. You know, here now that we have the internet, you know, someone from across the world can see our videos and not have to, you know, move it in. They just have to stay in front of their computer, and it really opens up a lot of opportunities for organizations like us. You know, we're all, I guess we consider ourselves pro-amateurs.
Yeah, we're the pro-am stunt group.
Yeah. So I mean, but overall, I mean,
underground stunt grouping.
We're still learning, but we still want to perform, and we still have that passion for it. And it's great because now we can make our own videos, put them online, so we don't have to go through, you know, producer. We can make our own stuff.
Yeah.
And you kind of cut out the middleman there and kind of show people.
Yeah. The trick in the industry now is to be your own content creator, so that you don't have to. You don't have to kill what you're doing. Like a lot of directors will take a movie and they'll take an action scene and they'll be like, well, this is too long. We're just gonna chop, and make it really jittery and, you know, take away from the real fun of it, which is telling the story. And from some of the videos that I've done, and you can check out some that I've done with a group called Abscess Motion Pictures, if you look them up on YouTube, there's some really great stories based within and around the action scenes, and you can check that sort of stuff out.
Where do you want your guys' organization to go? You know, 2 or 3 years down the line, 5 years down the line, where do you want to be? Where would you project yourselves to be?
My goal is pretty much to keep the training organization spirit alive. We want people, we try not to charge money. We might have to charge for tuition space at some point. We've been very fortunate, but eventually one day we might have to pay for the space. But other than that, you know, there's not huge union dues. We just want people to come in, keep training. We want to keep that spirit alive. That sort of that giving, sort of charitable idea about we're spreading knowledge, we're spreading fun, we're spreading stunt awareness. But at the same time, we also want to start making really good projects. And we really want to start creating videos on level with like the stunt people. Like they are my heroes when it comes to this kind of organization, because they were the first team that I ever heard of that built a website and built a blog and put videos out there and then sold videos and had like a cult following and got their people out there. I want people from our team to take their knowledge, go and apply for jobs, find jobs in the industry, get those jobs, and then hopefully come back and teach new young up-and-comers. That's my goal.
Promote yourselves. How can people find you?
Facebook.com/DC Stunt Coalition.
What up?
What up? Stunts. Rebels. Rebels. I don't know.
DC Stunt Coalition. There we go. You're on YouTube.com/The Rob and Dan Show.
Hi, Rob and Dan. Bye, Rob and Dan.